Another thing that we did this year, as I mentioned before, was going to space camp. And again, space camp. I said, what in the world am I doing at space camp? And you know, this was kind of a funny story because what ended up happening, it was one of the things that you got on your schedule. And it says, go to Huntsville, Alabama in August. And I said, why do I want to go to Alabama in August? And it says, go. And sure enough, I said, you know, I really don't know why I'm going to be here. I'm a history teacher. I'm not a science teacher. You know, who really cares about space exploration, all that stuff? So I really wasn't too sure about it. But I realized when I got there, this is going to be a kind of a unique experience. I get there, and they put us up together with the 50 state teachers, plus international teachers from all over the world. We had teachers there from New Zealand, from Turkey. We had a teacher from the Czech Republic who had never been on an airplane before she flew to Huntsville, Alabama. Kind of interesting to see, again, the new budding democracies of the world. Teachers from Denmark, from Spain, Mexico, we all got together. And then all of a sudden, they started putting us in these awkward situations. What I learned about space camp was that what they were trying to do is take us out of our comfort zone. And teachers don't like that. We like to be comfortable, know what's going to happen. But they took us way out of our comfort zones. They made us make a hot air balloon, for heaven's sakes. I never even thought about that before. But all of a sudden, we had to start thinking about the physics of making a hot air balloon. And again, it was kind of wild. I said, well, what in the heck is that all about? Why do I do that? And you know, the thing was, I didn't understand it. And the purpose of that was not to make the hot air balloon, was to start to work together with other people. And what they were doing to us very subtly at space camp, and I wish all faculties would do this, they showed us that we were a team and that we're all dependent upon one another. And all of a sudden, we now became dependent upon the teacher next door to us to help us when we didn't understand something. We had to fly a mock shuttle mission, and it was very complicated. And sure enough, they started throwing all these red dots at us and all these red warning lights, and all of a sudden we had all these problems. And what everybody did was to work together to solve those problems. And it was a metaphor for what every school should be, that we should all be in this together, that we shouldn't be negating what the person down the hall is doing or complaining about that teacher or this teacher, that we should all see ourselves working for a common goal, and that's educating kids. And that's what space camp was all about. And you know, it was fascinating too, we also started to talk to each other for the first time. You know, during the school year, we get so busy, we hardly have a chance to talk to our colleagues. And we don't know who they are. And all of a sudden, we started to talk to these teachers, and I got to know who these teachers were. Now, you want to talk about a humbling experience, you talked about these 50 state teachers. Amazing group of people. I mean, one of my colleagues, Ginger Brown, amazing, teaches in California. She teaches blind preschoolers how to read and write in Braille. Incredible. You listen to those stories. Another one of our teachers was deaf and completely included in everything we did because space camp did not say kids or other people with disabilities or any type of physical handicaps or impairments could not participate. They have a blind space camp. They have a space camp for deaf kids. They have a space camp for kids with physical handicaps. And it's an amazing thing to see those kids in Huntsville, Alabama, within their eyes, the prospect of the future. It's an amazing thing to see. And so we started to see all of this at space camp, and it was truly one of the great metaphors of my life to see what this was all about. And the fact of the matter is that what all faculty should be working for a common good, and that's to educate kids, all kids, and to work together as a team. And again, that's what faculties are. Elementary schools do it very well. Middle schools do it less well. High schools don't do it well at all. And again, that's what we have to do as educators.